Yo, what's up, everybody? I don't even know if this fucking camera's high enough. I'm very emotionally conflicted about it. Let's just put it like this because I'm paranoid. This should be high enough. I keep forgetting 4K gives me like way more range, so you probably can see way more of me than I think you can because the camera's actually like below me, but fuck it. Whatever. So, yo, what's up, guys? This is another episode, Snap Review. Sorry this one's late as well. You get caught in your feelings, you don't want to make the episode, and if you've seen the episode, you know why I feel the way I feel. So because this is in the last episode of the season, I don't want to do what I kind of want to do because this is the confession episode. I want to say way more things that I'm going to end up saying because it's not the last episode. The last episode will get its dedicated time in the sun. I have to give it that courtesy. So this episode is essentially the confession episode. There's not, realistically, it's Hikigaya getting his advice from his teacher, kind of having a real conversation with Yui, which is like a pseudo rejection. But my problem is I can't tell if Hikigaya is aware that Yui liked him. It's so hard. I feel like in some ways he was somewhat aware of it because he even references what she said at the end of season 1, where she's like, "I'm not gonna wait on somebody. I'm gonna make the first move." And then fucking Hikigaya says in this episode, during this episode, he says, "You're not gonna have to wait for me." Part of me thinks that he's somewhat aware of it, or he's more aware of it than I'm giving him credit for, but I don't fucking know, especially since I had to watch Yui cry again. She's cried like 3 to 4 times in this fucking season. And I'm over here in the corner like, why do y'all keep doing my girl so dirty? I am gonna low-key bitch about the result. I recognize that Yukinoshi and Hikigaya was kind of, once in the beginning of the anime, you kind of went, alright, that's probably the main couple. And then you introduced Yui, and I fell in love with her more and more as the seasons progressed, and I got to this point where I was genuinely thinking maybe he would change the game a little bit. And then I got bummed the fuck out because I knew the reality wasn't that kind. And especially considering what kind of show this is, I knew reality wasn't going to be that kind. And I'm like, fuck. Because the other part of the episode is essentially Hikigaya coming up with an excuse to close the distance between him and Yuki Noshita, and then essentially admitting / confessing to her that, I had to do these things because I didn't know how to stay close with you. I didn't know how to stay in contact with you. Him recognizing all of his faults and his issues and being like, look, I'm so bad at this. This is all I can do to maintain this relationship. And we both suck at this, which makes this even worse. Even though he does make a pledge to Yui how he wants to get better at this and conveying his feelings and doing things and being honest about why he's doing things instead of doing this weird circumventing reasoning bullshit he used to do in the first and second season, specifically the second season, which is when he really got called out on it. And it's a really, as a character, Hikigaya will always be one of my favorite anime characters. Snafu is my favorite slice of life, period. There are a few other shows that hit different things for me, but I think as an overall slice of life romance series, Snafu is my shit. I love this series, even with that repairing that I didn't fuck with. For those who didn't know, I was very much a Yui shipper. I don't think I ever lied about it or was dishonest about it. I shit Hiki and Yui so fucking hard. And part of the frustration that comes with the anime in the fucking relationship is that in this situation, since we now know who got the guy, I love the confession, by the way. I will say that though. Hikigaya Yukinoshi's confession is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life because it's not that generic ass anime confession like I've loved you all this time and all this other bullshit. It's them recognizing that they both have a bunch of fucking problems and not sugarcoating it. I especially love the line where she's like, I have personality issues and social issues, and I'm pretty hard to deal with. And Hikigaya is agreeing with her, and then she gets mad and she's like, I wish you had said no to that last one He goes, "You're asking a lot here." Like, I see the fact that their dynamic is still the same. It trips me out that as far as we've gone, the only difference between his dynamic with her now versus when the series started is that Yuki Noshita is way more fucking honest about her feelings. Because originally she wouldn't have complained about him not acknowledging her. Like, when it came to early season Yuki Noshita early season had a big issue with, like, not trying to look weak or, like, needing help and shit. Like, she was very much trying to be that lone ice queen. And she's gotten to the point where that shit is melted, and she even recognizes her own faults. But the thing is, they both have fucking problems. And they both acknowledge that they have fucking problems. That's why he doesn't say, "Oh, let me, like, take care of you." And she's like, "Listen, I need to be," like, even when she goes, "Listen, but I might end up relying on you again." He's like, "Well, then that means I have to become more useless, so you can't do that." Like, it's a very healthy way of acknowledging, like, we both got problems, but I'm going to make sure, but I'm not going to just be like Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm going to have to, like, the point is that just because they're dating doesn't mean their character growth is stopped. I appreciate that, because in those other romance animes, it's all about them getting to the dating part, right? Which low-key gets me low-key excited to see how the third year of his high school life goes, because I low-key want him to fully address some of the Haruno and Hayama stuff that still lingers in the background. Because although we know shit, we don't know everything. And it's, as Hikigai has stated, not knowing shit terrifies me. So, like, the confession is great. I don't want to, that's what I'm saying, I don't want to take away from the moment. Like, if you're Yuki Noshita and Hikigai shipper, this shit was beautiful, and it was exactly what I wanted. Neither of them said "I love you," mind you. Which, low-key, I think I'm cool with that, because they mentioned how, like, love is not enough to explain how they feel. And I think Yui says it when she's crying in her mother's arms, says something like, "This is our first romance." Like, this is probably the first guy that Yui has genuinely fallen in love with. And it hurts me to see her suffer. She suffered so much. I mean, granted, and part of it is self-inflicted. The other part is because of the kind of person she is. She's the kind of person that will put herself out there, which makes me very interested, considering I'm pretty sure Yuki Noshita and Yui were very much aware of each other's feelings. I'm very curious about their interactions, which I hope we get to see next week. Because I hope Yui... My thing is this, like, okay, if Yui's got to take this L, I want her to be able to take this L in front of her friends and be fully honest with it. Like, I feel like she hasn't gotten to, like, express herself the way she wanted to. She would silently take these gunshots. Like, and it's not like Hikigai is intentionally pulling the gun. It's like Hikigai will walk and say something indirectly, and Yui just be like, "Oh, fuck." And it would just happen to her multiple times throughout the fucking series, which was a cold reminder how she was going to get cheated in the end. And I'm like, bro, that fucking hurts, man. It hurts me because I think she's such a good character, and I love her development, and I feel like, what I hate is I feel like Yui's purpose in the anime, in retrospect, in some ways feels like it was the sense of a jobber. That her whole goal was to get Yuki Noshita and Hikigaya to develop to a point where they could function properly on their own and also function into a relationship together. And I'm like, fuck. So literally Yui's whole purpose in the goddamn show is just to push these two up to the point where they can get together. And even though she's already had feelings for Hikigaya, she still loses in the end. And the reality is that's life. That's life. That's happened in multiple situations where you're into a guy and another girl's into a guy, and like you're trying to help them because you still care about. She was caught between a friend and a potential boyfriend, and she was fucked up. And part of it was her own weaknesses and her own lack of confidence that didn't allow her to take it to the next step. She kept like giving Hikigaya outs. Like he'd be like, because realistically in the early part of the episode, if he had said, okay, this is over, I'm done with it, then she would have said, fuck it, here's my wish, I wish we go out. Like, you can tell, she always goes, listen, I'm not going to make everything 100% easy for Yuki Noshita, but because she still cares about his and her feelings, she's very much the type to like leave this fucking window of opportunity for him to really think things over and to come to the decision that she already knows he's gonna come to, but she wants to give him that window. And it bums me the fuck out because it makes her so good and pure. She calls herself such an asshole and a selfish person, but what selfish person allows a person to develop their feelings properly without them really influencing it in the way that she could have? Like, that's what trips me out, bro. Like, it's always gonna fuck with me to see Yui suffer like that because I know she's waifu material. And I don't mean that in some fucking anime body pillow bullshit. I mean, that bitch is 100%, if you were real, we would be dating and you would be getting fucking married. That one, it bothers me. It bothers me, bro. Because I know. That's why it bothers me, because I know she's so good. I know she deserves happiness. And because she's a 2D fictional character and a story that was inherently stacked against her, she won't get it. She won't get it. I'm not going to go as far into the story as I want to. I do think that Zymoka's Aroha sequence later on in the episode is kind of funny. The whole thing with the prom, I think I already said before, is an excuse because he just couldn't figure out a way to still be with her without coming up with some nonsense in order to do it. So meaning there will be a second prom, which is when I guess we'll see her in the dress. Because Yui got the first prom and the dance with him, but like Yukinosha will probably get the second prom, which will actually wear the dress, and they'll be like, and they'll probably, I don't know if they'll kiss. I feel like kissing might be too much. They can't even convey their feelings properly. I feel like kissing might be asking way too much. That's something that'll probably come in the epilogue novel that's coming out. But god damn it. God fucking damn it. I want to talk about it. Y'all don't understand. I want to go into the whole series as a whole. Because in a lot of ways we've been building to this moment. But I don't want to do that here because this isn't the last episode of the main series. The last episode is next week, which is probably going to be, not epilogue, but essentially like most people look at a romance anime as once the characters get together, that's the end of the main story in a way. That's not always the case because some shows do it quicker than that. But this is kind of like the post-credit sequences we're about to get into. I just want Yui to have some closure. Like, if I gotta watch Yui take L's, fine. But give her closure. If you're so close with your fucking friends, Yukinosha and Hikigai, I feel like she should be allowed to have that emotional freedom to be like, listen, I loved you, and god damn it, I'm angry about how this happened. I want her to have that closure. Even though in real life, I know that's not expected. In real life, there are a bunch of people who have feelings and never got the chance to get them out, and they fucking suffered. I hope if nothing else, Yui gets that fucking closure. Especially considering Yukinosha is very much aware of her feelings, like vice versa. I feel like there needs to have some sort of conversation because Yui still wants to be friends with them. But she has to now take that hit, and she's going to have to learn, and I bet you that's what the epilogue series is going to get into, that in certain situations, she's going to have to take a step back and exclude herself because a relationship and a friendship ain't the same fucking thing. They can kind of do certain things because they were all friends. But once two of your friends become lovers, you gotta unfortunately take that sad step and you're standing next to your friend side by side. In a lot of situations, you're gonna just have to do one of these. That's gonna hurt me, bro. Because the first time I see her do it, the first time it's ever shown to me, and if it happens next week, the first time it fucking happens, when I see this, I'm gonna be like, no. And knowing Yui, Yui's gonna have that cute ass fucking smile, like, and just do that, and I'm gonna be like, no. But I'm very proud of Hikigaya. He has grown so fucking much, and he's become a lot more self-aware of himself in this season. I love that growth. I love that even that Yui still has to push him along, but he's more often taking her hand and actually and moving. See, people don't understand. People always think, oh, if I'm being led by someone, it's not real growth. But the fact that you were even taking their hand to walk forward with them, which was an issue Hikigai had in the first fucking season, he wouldn't even do that in a lot of situations. That's huge. And the fact that he was able to do it on his own. That's why I feel bad, because Yui's purpose in the series feels like a jobber. That Yui did all those moments where she would grab Hikigai by the hand and she would reach his. Essentially, it's almost like he was practicing reaching out to her. So when he finally did it in the end, I was like, that's progression. Why was my girl used as a fucking jobber to get you there? No, it hurts. It hurts, bro. I didn't cry, but man, it hurts. It hurts to see my girl in that position. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew what I was going to have to deal with. But god damn it. God fucking damn it. I saw it in my heart and I was like, no! But the confession was done well. And Yuki Noshi's grown a lot in her own way. I feel like the third season doesn't give her enough screen time like it should, but she still gets enough moments and you can tell there's progression. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys next time. I'm sad, bro. I gotta get out of here, bro. I gotta go. I gots to go.